Aloha. Welcome to this new episode of Pacific Leaders Today, a podcast from the East-West Center dedicated to young leaders from the Pacific. This portion of the series focuses on alumni of the Pacific Island Leadership Program, an East-West Center program that seeks to build leaders dedicated to shaping the future prosperity of the Pacific region by taking informed and effective action, and is funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China, Taiwan. I'm your host, Philippe, and today I'm talking with Henry Kaniki from the Solomon Islands. After years leading successfully a conservation project in his island, I talked to Henry when he was about to graduate from his master's. During our chat, we're talking about his experience as a community leader and his plan to step up and aim for higher leadership positions in the coming years. Henry tells us about the importance of stepping up when you realize that things need to be changed. Henry, aloha and welcome.
Thank you, Philippe. Thank you, Philippe. Yeah. Good morning from here from Townsville.
All right. Thanks for joining us. My first question is just to know a little bit more about yourself. Can you tell us where do you come from and what you are currently doing with your life?
Okay. Thank you. My name is Henry Kaniki, and I come from a small community in Vela. Vela Island is in the Western Province in Solomon Island. So I come from Pusinju village. I'm currently doing my study here at James Cook University. This is my final semester. By end of next week, I should be done with my final my study and should be going back home. So currently, I'm doing a Masters of Science and Fisheries Management. That's my major. But before I came here, I used to work with the conservation NGO for the past 13 years. So engaging communities, and that also leads me to do community work with my own community as well on volunteer basis. So yeah, that's what I was doing for the past years. So yeah, I'm currently my family back home, but I'm just here by myself.
So you must be looking forward to be soon done with these studies, and congrats on almost making it.
Definitely, yeah. Thank you.
So Henry, you are a former participant of the Pacific Island Leadership Program, program run by East-West Center and funded by the government of Taiwan. Can you, and that was Generation 3, so that was 2015. So can you tell us why did you decide to participate in this program back then? And since then, what kind of impact did the program have on you?
Yes, that was very interesting for me as well. Particularly, I decided to participate in this program. I didn't know much about it because that was really early. Like there was we were the third cohort at the time, but I knew somebody that attended those program for the past program. But what really struck me was I knew that East-West Center and especially University of Hawaii, they're known globally for providing quality educations, and so that was always my interest. To if I had an opportunity to come over and do what sort of program, I will go for it. So that's why I was really interested to apply, and so I applied for this program. In fact, that same year, I also applied to do my further studies, masters at University of Hawaii. That same year, but I was the alternative applicant. So make fourth. So 3 of Pacific Islanders were selected. I was the fourth one. But but I was so glad that I made it through this program and then managed to get there and managed to get this education, especially in leadership. So in terms of leadership, I naturally know about, like personally, I know about my behavior, characteristic, and interest of my people, because they especially for my communities, because they were my focus engagement at the time. But then I knew that there are some gaps in terms of leadership that I need to know. So this program was a right choice for me.
Mm-hmm.
So coming and attending this program really add something knowledge to my existing knowledge that really helps my community engagement. So yeah, ever since I attended the program, when I came back, I did other several activities and initiatives that really boost my engagement with communities. I even started engagement with other new communities, in particular for the community I was living with, living in the city in Honiara.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back, I I did a leadership workshop with the youths there, and then we started a formal organization for community, and then it was a success story because we applied exactly what I've learned in my leaderships, and then pass it on to the youths, and they are now they are taking the lead on that activities as we speak.
Mm, nice indeed, and you've been quite active since then in your community as well. So after those 6 years since coming out of the program and all those community engagement that you started, would you describe yourself as a leader? Do you see yourself as a leader today, and if so, why?
Mm. So personally, uh, I don't usually see myself or call myself as a leader. Uh, my what I do and or, is simply because of my genuine passion and commitment to support my communities, and especially like because I think because of my own background, like I was raised from a rural community, and so my commitment and my passion was always to bring something to community and give back to them. So all this engagement that I do with my community, I see as this is just my my piece to give back to the community.
Mm.
So I think that's how I look at it. Yeah. Yes.
And so, knowing that attitude of yours or that vision that you have, how would you define leadership? What is leadership for you today?
Mm. Yeah. So for me, leadership is like I always like to take this approach of seventh leadership, seventh
Mm,
leadership role. Yeah. So when I bring in some initiative or when I bring something new to my community that will help them or to help us to do something better, uh, I'm just somebody that really like became a catalyst or do something so that all of us will engage and do the thing.
mm,
That's how I see myself. Yeah, but not really on the hierarchy type of leadership where you will surely like just so out clearly. But I just always wanted to see somebody just within that can see the way. Oh, we go this way, and then all of us go together. That's how I
mm.
see it.
Okay, great, thanks. So you're very engaged in conservation, environmental protection, and you're studying right now on fisheries. Um,
Mm.
from your perspective, what are the biggest issues that the Pacific region is having to deal with at the moment?
Mm. Okay, that's an interesting question. So let me take it. I think the top challenges in for the Pacific Island country, I think, is the climate change issue, climate change, the sea level rise issue that is very vocal globally. Even the summit, the climate meeting that they're having, the global meeting that they're having now. is more or less basically our major top priority issue was based on climate change. And that will always be because of geographical, located as islanders within the Pacific Ocean. Secondly, in terms of like national at the country level, I think in terms of leadership, it's more importantly priority would be on having a good leadership for our top leaders, like especially for our politicians. It's one of the things that is really remarkable in some of our countries, especially in the Melanesian countries, is in terms of like corruption at the higher level. That's one of the major issue, which is we have a different level from a different country across the region, but I think that is one of the major challenges that all of us as island countries and as an islander is something that is really ultimate, that we really need to work on that from our respective whatever sectors that we're working at. I think that should be our major goal. How do we contribute positively to address the issues as is? It's shown in different ways. For example, in fisheries sectors, tuna industry is one of our industry that is the main driver or the main activity that bring economy to our country. But then governing those resources is one of the bigger at the national level, especially for fisheries and for the fishery agencies. So having a good leadership role, or people that are influential in leadership that can bring maximum positive benefit out of those resources and those in those sectors would be a way to go.
I'm just stopping a little bit. I'm gonna cut the video because it's cutting a little bit, and I want to make sure I have the best audio quality.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Good. All right, that should be better now. Okay. So from what I hear from your answer, and especially when you're talking about the issue of corruption in the highest level of government, I believe that for you, knowing the issues that we are facing and mainly climate change, we do really need to think or maybe rethink how we see leadership in the region. Is it something that you would agree on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of the concept is been going on in the Pacific is the regionalism. Regionalism, which in many ways other approaches have been taken towards this term. For example, for the Melanesian group, they have this Melanesian spearhead group. Maybe other part of the region, they have different. And we also have like the other regional environment groups, organizations that based on cooperation and collaboration between countries in the Pacific. So the main thing for me, especially for our region, is partnership and collaboration among its leaders at the top is one of the key things that has always been there. And so what we really need to do is build up from it, keep building up. It has been already foundation there, set for us, those that are coming behind, those that have already been before us have already set those platform to bring about the best of within our region. So to bring those young leaders that are really equipped with those all this quality of leaders, if they could take on those key positions at the higher level, then I think we can have the best of what we want for our region.
So I hear some optimism from you on the ability of the new generation to take up the challenge. And so if you project yourself in let's say 10 years, and as you remember in PILP, we like to project ourselves in the future, how would you, if you had to imagine the future of the Pacific region in 10 years, how does it look like for you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for me, like coming here to do my further studies in particular in my sector,
Mm-hmm.
fisheries, and also in my in terms of conservation, I came to realize that started to realize how I can play a role when I go back home at the national level, and that could lead to part of some of the regional leadership role that I can be part of, or that can contribute towards. So in 10 years' time, I see myself like being one of the leaders within my country that could lead my sector of expertise to help a region, uh, uh, as mentioned, like to take the best of what we can do, positive things about our region, and bringing positive, optimistic about what we have in our region. So I see
Mm-hmm.
myself as one of the person that can contribute that in my country, and I'm really prepared to do that for my country.
So can we expect to see Henry in a high political position in a few years to come?
Of course, definitely, yeah. When the time is good, yeah, yeah,
All right.
because
Well, we'll look forward to it.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. My last question for you, Henry, knowing what you just shared with us and how you are both concerned and optimistic about the future and the need for everyone to basically step up. If you wanted to share something that is important for you, a recommendation, an advice, or just a vision that you'd like to share with the people listening to us in the Pacific right now, what would you like to tell them?
Yeah. So my takeaway message for my other Pacific Islanders across the region, I think we've all have we all have our roots, like the where we come from, and as a person, we come uh, from my family. We come from our tribes within our local communities or rural communities. So so I mean, life is always from the bottom when we climb up the ladder. So the thing that usually what I see, the thing that really take us away sometimes, that really uh, take us away is from our education or from our formal work, that that allow us to sometimes we become disconnected with our purpose, or disconnected with our people, and disconnected with our like the connection we have of the where we are from.
Mm,
But so my main message is to to always remember where we are from, and
mm,
be connected, always connected, despite if you have formal job or you're working outside from your communities. But always remember to reconnect back with your people, and that's how we build a positive society, and that's how we can influence uh, uh, leadership from the bottom, and then going upward
mm,
at national level or even at the regional level. So, because everything starts with small things and little steps. So that's basically what I can say. And if everyone can do that within our region, I think, yeah, that would be a different region for us in
mm.
the Pacific.
Indeed. So start small and from the ground, but dream high, right?
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, definitely, we've seen that you've been dreaming high for your communities, and we will expect to see you soon on doing even bigger actions. So good luck, Henry, and thanks for taking the
Thank
time to
you.
talk to us.
Thank you. My pleasure, Philip.
Pacific Leaders Today is the podcast produced by the East West Center, a non-profit organization that promotes better relations and understanding among the people and nations of the United States, Asia, and the Pacific through cooperative study, research, and dialogue. For more information on the center and its leadership programs, go visit eastwestcenter.org. Mahalo, and I'll see you soon for another episode.